able to travel house sitting in different places. Why did you do house sitting?
Main reason number one was because of the dogs. We heard that there was a way to have free pets when you were traveling.
There you go. Truth comes out.
Hey guys, my name is Shayla and I make these videos every Wednesday. I have been traveling and YouTubing full time since 2015, and this week, Kale and Chelsea, or Chelsea and Kale, we went to high school together, and I've been watching you guys travel all over and volunteer in different places, and I was like, okay, when we're all in the same place, I'd like to interview you. So I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
Hello everyone. We just spent the last 14 months traveling to 20 different countries, and we just got back a couple weeks ago. Our focus was animal conservation and volunteer.
We are C2C.
We made a clothing brand, eco-friendly clothing.
And we traveled with the mentality of ecotourism, which is focused on animals, and eco-earth.
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 I think that's perfect.
In essence of spread the good, which was our tagline.
They were also able to travel house sitting in different places. I put on my Instagram, hey, I'm interviewing these guys today, and a few people asked some questions. So we're gonna answer a couple of questions from Instagram. Savannah said, what country has felt most like home?
That's such a hard question to answer. One place that we went to that we significantly remember, and that was South Africa.
Cape Town felt like home because you're around everything that makes you comfortable. Coffee shops, your breweries, your restaurants. We almost got off the rest of the trip, but we had to say go.
Crazy.
A couple people asked, when did you know it was time to leave? And my response to that was when you got too comfortable and lazy in a spot, where you'd lounge around the place until 11. Odd complex of like, we need to move along.
Were you planning on being gone for 14 months when you started?
Our plan was a year.
You went all the way around.
Yeah.
We started in South America. We spent 3 months there, or no, 4 months there. 3 months in Africa, the month and a half in Europe. We spent 2.5 months in Asia and finished in Australia and New Zealand.
What country surprised you the most?
I think could agree on Vietnam. It kind of forced you to be in Vietnam. You couldn't, it wasn't really easy to go get a certain type of food.
It's Vietnamese coffee, it's Vietnamese pho, and it was amazing.
What was your biggest takeaway from being gone for a year and traveling?
We go into things thinking a little different than we did prior to leaving. How impactful you're being to the environment, finding ways to reduce your plastic consumption, seeing firsthand like where it ends up on the beaches in Bali or Sri Lanka, and actually doing beach cleanups, and then all of a sudden ending up in Lakeville, Minnesota, where I'm putting, you know, vegetables in plastic. You definitely think harder and learn about, you know, where everything's going, how you can be impactful in your daily lives.
And another one, consumerism. Oh man, that's on Amazon. I can get 5 of those for $5. I'll buy 10 of those. Living out of a backpack, you realize your true essentials, what you need to actually live and survive.
I think that you learn to live minimally, and you consciously are like, I'm not gonna buy this because I have to carry this around. Like me moving here, I'm like, I need a nightstand. Oh, we should probably have another dresser because I've got stuff. It's giving me anxiety because now I'm like, I've got all these things. Do we need it? Or just like, what's its function?
Is it a want or a need?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The last question that a lot of people ask me all the time, and that a lot of people were, bless you, Seth. How much did you have to start? How much did it cost to do all these things? And we talked about this off camera. It's hard to answer.
It honestly comes down to your lifestyle, and Kale and I really didn't go out to eat that much, or we didn't go out for beer or wine.
I think also like where you're staying. House sit, where it's gonna cost you nothing. Or you can stay in a hotel for $100 a night, or you can stay in a hostel for $20 a night. Those three are gonna be such a big factor. You guys were like, we're gonna be gone for a year. So obviously you had to have money saved up.
Right.
I was like, I'm just gonna be gone for like a month. So I left with $2,000. I was traveling to like live and make money and work, and you guys were traveling volunteering and like not expecting money coming in like I was.
Right.
And so like it's really hard to
have an exact
100%.
because
amount.
it all just depends on like, are you planning on being gone forever? Are you planning on working while you're gone?
Also just utilize your resources. Like in Europe, we basically stayed the whole time for free because we stayed with friends, stayed with families. Don't be afraid to reach out and say, hey, I'm traveling. I would love to experience your culture.
People are typically psyched to host
Yeah.
Or for example, in South America, it probably boiled down to, would you say, $35, $40 a day. Including like breakfast, lunch, dinner, sleeping, volunteer, kind of the average that we looked for. Or somewhere like Europe, sometimes could be $60 a day.
When you said New Zealand and Australia were more like 100 or
100 a night.
Yeah.
Yes, that is very true, and it was insane.
If someone's trying to find a low budget, I would recommend Southeast Asia or South America.
Yes.
Would you say that's?
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
They were also able to travel house sitting in different places. Why did you do house sitting?
Main reason number one was because of the dogs. We
Yeah.
heard that there was a way traveling.
There you go.
Or I mean, it was definitely because of the free place to stay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge perk. Okay.
So we had heard from a friend there's literally a way where you can watch people's pets
No brainer.
and also have a free place to stay.
It's not just dogs, cats, fish. You can feed fish in
Stop.
somebody's house in a foreign country. Pigs, horses, chickens. You can watch a pen of chickens.
Oh, that's-
Am I missing any?
Plants.
Plants. You can water plants.
How do you find someone's house in another country to watch their animals?
Trusted House Sitters is this really beautiful app that we definitely recommend. Very reliable. You have a whole background check. The first house sitters that we did, which also was just the total home run grand slam, was Switzerland. In the middle of the Alps, we watched 2 golden retrievers. Just a total heart thief. They were both amazing. It allows you to have a home. Usually they're able to say, hey, use the kitchen, you know, use the TV, binge watch The Office. It's a yearly membership and you can renew after the year if you want.
How much is the year-long membership?
I think 119, 120.
So we actually have a way to give you 25% off if you did want to sign up for a membership.
Nice.
And it
New
pays
quick
for
math.
itself in 5 days of...
Yeah, no
you know.
kidding.
And it's all over the world. It typically tends to be first world countries where people have pets and who do travel for vacation or work.
So the other way that you guys are traveling was through volunteering with animals, planting trees. Do you want to talk a little bit about like how somebody would do that or like some of your experiences?
Platforms we use when traveling. Our 2 favorite ones, reliable websites, are workaway.info and givingway.com. Givingway is a trusted platform that NGOs and nonprofit organizations host on this website. So you can then search for anything from I want to work with people, I'm a dentist, I want to work with the earth, and break it down by country. The amount of detail Givingway asks the organizations to host on their platform kind of does their own background check. Our experience, we asked them a handful of questions, thought we had everything covered. It's travel, so you got to show up and you got to be prepared for what's thrown at you. Get to this little village, first introduction to the house was the bathroom. Something neither of us were prepared for was showering out of a bucket. Heat the water
No
yourself
running water,
over
no
the stove.
electricity.
How long were you there?
1
Yeah.
month. Something we experience with travel is sometimes the most difficult places hold the biggest spots in your heart sometime, where you have to overcome and feel and have misery and happiness all in one spot.
That's what travel is.
Yeah.
It's just adapting to it and
Yeah.
keeping a positive attitude. So
Yeah.
you can just keep a positive attitude, usually something good happens.
Yes,
For
but
sure.
one of the biggest questions, or actually I should say biggest surprises, is a lot of people see volunteer and they just assume it literally means volunteering your time, you're not paying for anything. It's probably more uncommon if you don't have to pay. You have breakfast, lunch, dinner, staying with a host family for a month. It's not just a free, you know, hey, I'm here, I have my time.
And that's kind of what we talked about. You being there is costing something.
We kind of look at it like, okay, so we spent a month on the Galapagos Islands. If we did that and just vacationed there or just went there, it would cost 4 times as much as it did for us to volunteer there.
And it's a really fascinating way to meet and work with local people. Get invited to a homemade dinner
Right.
or a get together at a pub.
How do you know if you're going to a place that's ethical, a place that's safe?
Part of making sure a volunteer program or organization is legit, doing your due diligence. Google, look at reviews, website testimonials, Facebook reviews. You can go cross-eyed reading if you have to review like literally 1,000 reviews.
Yeah.
But it helps you out because you'll find out you sleep with bug nets.
Yeah.
In the house, and some people are okay with that, some
Exactly.
people aren't.
I think you have to read through the reviews
Yes.
because it's like, oh good, they've got bed nets or bug nets, so we don't have to
Yeah.
sleep with bugs. And other people are like, that means there's going to be lots of bugs.
Doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Workaway is a tool that we utilize that allows you to work in exchange for a free place to stay. You know, helping out at the hostel for 4 hours in the morning or helping work at a restaurant. Great way to, you know, take down the cost of your place to
Right.
stay.
Cool. I feel like we covered all of our points.
Nailed it.
Woohoo! Nice.
Nice.
Only 3 batteries, and here we go. Thank you guys so much for coming on. If you guys have any questions for volunteer or for house sitting, they can actually, you can put it in the comments below, and then you guys
Yeah.
want to just comment on YouTube.
Yeah.
we can-
Yeah.
Otherwise, what would be the best? Like Instagram?
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. We
Yeah.
get lots of questions there.
Okay, so we're gonna put the links below of the trusted house sitters.
Yep.
Yes.
You guys use Workaway. I use World Packers. You also use, what's the volunteer one?
Giving way.
Giving way.
Giving Way. And if you want to check out their clothing line, you can check that out. Go in the description below and you can see all of the things.
All the things.
All of the things.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys so much for coming on.
This was so fun.
No, I'm glad that we can meet up. It's been perfect.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys all next Wednesday. Mwah. Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.